Alright, and if anybody gets scared, I do have this super cool light gun, so I can be like, pow, there's a rock.
Hey, how's it going? It's OutdoorVector here. On the way back from visiting Mammoth Cave National Park, we decided to stop by Bowling Green, Kentucky to visit the Lost River Cave. It's only about 45 minutes south of Mammoth Cave and fit in nicely on our way back to Nashville. When we arrived at Lost River Cave, we had a few minutes before our cave tour actually began. So they have some other activities you can do while you're there. One of them was a short hike that we took to a butterfly house.
It's monarch migrating.
I think that one was a monarch.
Look at that one.
Right here.
That one.
This one. I think that one's a monarch.
Oh, those are they're moths, actually. They lay flat. What happens every time we go to the zoo that has a... There's like too many.
The white one. Oh, here's one too. On the lantana.
Oh, it's pretty.
Had your fill of butterflies.
Yeah.
These are pretty up there.
Check for butterflies. Good? Butterfly in the sky.
Alrighty, the first feature on our tour today is this lovely blue hole. You might be looking at me and being like, KP, this is not blue, this is green. What are you talking about? And that's because in the past few days we actually had quite a bit of rain. And what happens when you mix rain with water? It takes all that dirt and all that sediment from the bottom and makes this ugly color right here. On a very normal day when it's been nice and sunny all week, this little pond right here can actually get as blue as my shirt, which is very blue. And that is actually because of a mineral on our property called calcite. Horses and carriages were actually known to ride along this ridge up here, fall, crash into this blue hole, and then disappear. A lumberjack reported to the local newspaper that he literally saw a 100-foot tall tree fall into this blue hole, and can you guess what happened to it?
It disappeared.
It disappeared. Well, underneath us right now are all these open air pockets, and connecting them all is an underground river, also known as Lost River. So what you see right here in front of you is actually one of those open air pockets that sunk into the ground kind of like a sinkhole and exposed that underground river.
Ooh. Wow.
Mr. Perkins also had his most infamous Cavern Nightclub right over here. I-65 is actually right above us where Nashville Road is now, so people would get off the highway, come from all over the nation to this Cavern Nightclub and listen to really, really big jazz musicians like Dinah Shore, Ella Fitzgerald, the NBC Orchestra. really big guys who just out here in this cave. Until the 50s rolled around. In rock and roll, where you guys are standing now, there were literally mountains of trash. For 40 years, people threw everything over this: cars, oil trucks, kitchen appliances, things they had lying around their house and in their car. They just threw it out the window. They figured, out of sight, out of mind. Until 1990, the WKU created a nonprofit organization known as the Friends of Lost River Cave. It's actually where we are today. And they spent the next 8 years cleaning 55 tons of trash out of this cave.
Wow.
Now is the time, I'm going to mention that everybody needs their mask up and over their nose, because we are going to go in there. Those red squares are actually going to be behind this stone wall right over here. So let's head on down. There are some steps that lead to the end. You guys know. So we're going to get nice and low. We're only going to be under here momentarily. And then it opens up to
Oh, it does get really low.
It gets a little bit lower to the end. Alright, and if anybody gets scared, I do have this super cool light gun, so I can be like, pow, there's a rock.
How are you guys doing, El Paso?
We're alright.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Now, the first formation on our tour we're going to look at today is this flow stone. Can anybody guess why it's called a flow stone?
Water flow?
Water flowing over stone. You guys got a great eye. I don't know who came up with the name, but they weren't very creative. Now, there are a few different colors on this flow stone. This green color is actually algae that's formed from the artificial light hitting all the time. And then you got this peanut butter brown color, and that's actually healthy flow stone. And then do you guys see this black color? This is actually a pollution scar. Because back in the Mr. Perkins era, there was a cow pasture above us. And what do cows do besides moo?
Yay.
They poo. So this is a pollution scar. Yeah, kind of gross. Now, has anybody felt any cold drops of water hit them at all? Yes, no, if not, trust me, you will. We actually like to call these cave kisses. They're supposed to be 2 weeks of good luck, so if somebody's birthday is today, you got some good luck for your birthday. If anybody else's birthday is coming up, you have some good luck for your birthday as well. They actually do come from all these little spikes on the ceiling. These are actually called stalactites. And this is that calcite, so it makes that blue hole blue. And it grows 1 inch every 100 years. So they are very, very old, even though they're tiny. Now our stalactites are fairly smaller compared to other caves like Mammoth Cave. They have entire columns where the stalactites on the ceiling and the stalagmites on the ground actually meet in the middle to form a column. And that's because Mammoth Cave and other caves do not flood. And we do. So the water actually reaches the ceiling and it hits those stalactites so hard that it gives them a little bit of a chip, kind of like a haircut, because they are very thin and brittle. And right here, you guys see these little rocks? These are actually fossils. These are called horn coral, and they were actually made when Kentucky was part of the ocean seabed. stalactite growing, all that calcite. You can see all the layers of the rock that have fallen down. If you get it now, you get that T-Rex mouth. Absolutely beautiful. And unfortunately, we don't have any bats, and that's because bats prefer dry caves like Mammoth Cave. And if you haven't noticed, we are a very, very wet cave, so bats don't really ever like to come in here a whole lot. But about the end of spring, we'll get a few young adolescent males that'll come in here looking for their last chance at love. And unfortunately, they don't find it here, so they'll hang out here for a few weeks, and then they'll just kind of head on back out. Now, the last formation I want to show you guys, or it's not a formation, but it's just really cool, is this right up here. This upper passageway is actually where we have found all kinds of evidence that people actually inhabited our cave over a very long period of time. So up there, we have what we call a Native American room. We actually believe it was a trading post between different Native American tribes. We have found seashells up there, they're still up there today, which were used for trading. There are also pits dug into the ground, which were used to start fires. And we've also found spears and arrowheads the size of my hand that we believe were actually used to kill woolly mammoth. And then right up here, kind of like where that light is actually a Civil War room. Soldiers at the time during the Civil War would come up here, they would actually stencil into the rock their name, or even smoke write their name into the rock and the ceilings, their name, their battalion, and even what side of the war they were a part of. And they would leave name tags and even journals of their stories and their times here at Lost River Cave. And believe it or not, but after the Civil War, for a very short period of time, our cave was used temporarily as a morgue. Yeah. Up there on the upper passageway at one point we had over 4,000 unfortunate souls that actually stayed here before they found their forever home in the Nashville cemetery, because we were the coolest place to store dead bodies. Now, I noticed that you actually did point out something earlier. It's probably the coolest formation in our cave, so are you guys ready for this? I mean, are you guys ready? You don't seem super excited. This one's really freaking cool. Bam. It's a dragon's head. Kind of looks like a UK wildcat. Or maybe a dog sticking his head out the window. A dinosaur, yeah. So it looks like Godzilla too. Never seen Godzilla, but I'm sure it looks like that. And that low-hanging rock did not go away, so we are gonna have to duck again. And we gotta duck a bit lower than we did last time. Because we didn't know, but it did get a little bit lower. Oh yeah, my friends in the back are ducking all the way down. They know what's up. Thank you guys for joining me on this tour today. I had really fun. If you did not enjoy your tour, go ahead and stay there now and let me know why. Alright, now when we get to the end of this boat, me and my friend are actually going to get to the very end, so that way we can safely unload you guys. So here we come in 3, 2, 1. Here as well, so if you guys have any questions or want to ask me about anything else, I'll be right up there for you.
Hey, you're welcome.
You guys have fun.
Overall, the cave tour boat ride was a bit short, but it was unique. Our guide KP was a grad student from West Kentucky University, and she was great at providing a lot of historical and scientific information in a humorous and enjoyable way. I think that WKU is a great partner for the cave. Well, until next time, have a great time outdoors.